Warning for this video, there's going to be some explicit language, so if you're at work, probably need to turn your speakers off, get your kids, put them to bed, because I'm going to talk about the USA and China. Okay, so anybody that knows me, I have always been a big proponent of buy USA, made in the USA. I like that stuff. We work really hard at our shop here to only use USA products. It is a pain in the ass because these fucking Chinese have come in and taken over everything in manufacturing. I mean everything. And most of the US just muddles along and buys it because it's cheap. And you buy the shit at Walmart, you can buy it at Target, you can buy it everywhere. It's hard to buy made in the USA. It is almost impossible on some items. So, you know, I'm pressuring my guys all the time. If it's made in China, I don't want to see it in the shop. Send it back. Don't deal with it. My purchasing guy goes crazy because he knows I can even tell the way the cardboard box is when it comes in, because China's got that shitty ass cardboard they use, and you can see it a mile away. So I tell him, that ain't made in the USA, send it back. So we fight all the time. So the reason I'm going on this rant tonight is because we had a customer come in with a car project we're doing. No problem if they supply some of their parts. I don't care, I'll use whatever they got. So he had a few parts, and he had some fittings that he wants to do the plumbing on the car. And he's like, can you do something with these parts that I got? And so I looked through the stuff, and we were looking through it, and he's like, I got all the plumbing I need for the engine. What can you do with that? And I'm gonna cover this up so you guys can't see it, but this is it. It's a number 8 straight fitting, and on the back, you can see made in China. So I said, sure, I can do something with that. And I got the trash can and I threw the shit in there. So we're not building cars with made in China parts on them. And if you guys are so broke dick that you can't buy USA made parts, you need to stay the fuck at home. Okay, that's the bottom line. The USA has been crushed by China in production. And if we're going to be a bunch of dumbasses and keep buying the shit, then they're going to get all the money and you're going to get the junk, cheap shit that they send over here. And it's not just race car parts, it's everything. And if everybody in the US would take a couple minutes a week and just make a choice to pay a few bucks more for a made in the USA part and support USA manufacturing, within a couple weeks, we could crush China. We would put such an impact on them from the lack of sales that they would be done. But instead, everybody wants to go, oh man, I can buy this cheaper, or it's convenient to pick it up, and I don't even look at where it's made. My wife doesn't even want to go shopping with me. If we go to the hardware store or Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards or whatever, I won't buy it if it's made in China. Bottom line, I don't care how bad I need it, I'll do without. I'll come back to the shop and make something myself before I'll buy that crap. I don't buy it. So I'm only one person, but if we could get everybody together and stop supporting this Chinese junk that comes into the US and support the manufacturers that make the shit here in the USA, we could eliminate China as the superpower that it is. I mean, if you look at any economic indicators on who is leading in manufacturing, it's not the US. We're a bunch of chumps. We're buying this garbage that they're importing over every day, barges and ships and containers full of junk. And it's junk, okay? It is. Now, I'm not against buying things made in other countries. I'm talking about this crap that China makes, the knockoffs and the copies and the bullshit. They use the cheapest materials, the cheapest anodizing. The shit doesn't fit right. It is garbage, but we keep buying it. And we keep sending all our money back over there for them to make more shit. And in the meantime, factories are closing in the US. People are losing their jobs. They don't have money to be able to afford to buy the nice stuff that's made in the USA, so they got to buy the shit made in China. So you see how this works? I mean, the Chinese are not stupid people. They know what they're doing, and they are killing us in manufacturing. And our government is letting it happen. They're letting all this shit in. Tax these fuckers, okay? They won't send that stuff over here then. If we had a government with some balls, they would tax this Chinese import shit so that it wouldn't come over here. And then in turn, the US can build its manufacturing back up. And then, you know what? Everybody has jobs and everybody's making a decent salary, and then you can afford to buy the products that are made in the USA that are 1,000 times better than this shit made in China. So, bottom line is, we don't buy shit made in China. If you would just take a second to look at where things are made and make a decision on what you want to spend your money on. Hey, I'm just like everybody else. It's hard to make a buck, and you got to look where you spend every penny. But if you would just take it into effect, the long-term outcome of what you do when you just go into a store and buy it because it's convenient, and look at the back of it. If it's cheap, it's going to be made in China or Taiwan or Indonesia or some far-off fucking place where they got 100,000 people working in a factory for pennies a day. Okay? That's what those people are doing, and that's why they manufacture that junk and send it over. And it goes for everything. I mean, we even, we have a composite shop here. We're even seeing Chinese carbon come over that is competing with the stuff we're making. They're making flat sheets. They're making composite parts. They're making all kinds of shit. And I talked to a guy that called me to see if we wanted to build parts. He was having stuff made in China. When he got a container of it over in the U.S., 80% of it he threw in the dump because it was so bad, and kept the 20%. But it was still cheap enough that he could sell it over here and throw 80% of it away, because they don't have any rules or regulations. They just work people till they drop. And you know what? We as dumbass citizens of the U.S. buy this shit and keep buying it, keep sending all your money you make over to China, and pretty soon, if you keep doing it, you better fucking learn how to speak Chinese, because that's what's going to happen over here, because they're going to be running the country. So, just a suggestion, but don't come in here to our shop bringing a bunch of Chinese bullshit in here, because I'm going to throw it in the trash. And think about it next time you go to the store, whether you're buying a shirt or a AN fitting for your car or whatever. If it's made in China, get it somewhere else. That's all I got.